So I've been thinking, and I took notes on this shit. It sounded so serious. So I was journaling. Well, first the fuck of all, I was listening to one of my new favorite creators or oracle readers or whatever, and she was talking about the quote, "Lord, forgive them, for they know not what they do," or more preferably, the way I like it, was how dude from Black Jesus, the show Black Jesus on Tubi, check it out if you want to. And he was like, "Lord, forgive them, for they know not what the fuck they do." I like it. And also the quote, "Lord, let me forgive others so you can forgive me," or something like that. And so when I think of Lord, because I'm more spiritual, not necessarily religious, but when I think of Lord, I think of like the higher self, and or like the you that knows better. And at first I used to think of that as an excuse, like, oh, they don't know what they're doing, because I was like, but people know exactly what they're doing. Like, people will literally plan to humiliate you or to piss you off or provoke you or make you like really sad. Like, people are definitely aware that they're going to make you feel some type of way or even make you feel scared for a really long time. They know like how to keep you hooked and keep you in the loop and keep you coming back. They know how to pretty much use you as supply for an extended period of time. But then it clicked for me because again, this was from one of my favorite creators. So like, I'd been hearing that quote for my whole life and it would always like make me upset. But then finally I was like, you know what, sleep on it. I was like, because I know there's something here. There's some kind of gem here. There's some kind of wisdom for sure, but just stay with it for a little bit. So I did, slept on it, woke up, got in the shower as usual, always in the water, and I was like, okay, yeah, people can plan for like how they want to make you feel, but I think that's the extent of what they know. Like, it's very surface level. Like I can scare this person, and they're gonna excuse my patterns, they're gonna come back, whatever, but that's pretty much all that person can anticipate. Like, they don't know what else that person is capable of understanding, the person that they're trying to hurt or humiliate or whatever. They don't know how capable that person is of taking care of themselves while they're in hell or while they're around that person. That's something that they never really count on, like how that person is gonna build themselves back up. And they can only count on the way that they figure, yeah, I'm definitely gonna crush this person's spirit. Like, yeah, but that's all you know. So it's like, they know what they're doing, but they don't really know what they're actually doing to themselves when they continue to treat people like that. And they can assume like how deeply it can hurt. They can maybe even assume for how long. Like, that's their assumption. Take Jim Crow, for example. Like, those abusive laws that he wrote and tried to spread, he absolutely knew. He even wrote the shit down. Like, he knew that type of abuse was going to ripple across generations of Black folks. But he never counted on the way that they could and would get wise and rise. He didn't count on the way that people were going to find ways to lift each other up and lift themselves up. So essentially, Lord, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And then help me forgive them, but for me. Like, help me forgive them at a distance. And let me see them through your neutral, compassionate eyes and heart. So I can ultimately forgive myself for staying longer than I needed to, or for even adopting their ways so I could survive that environment. And I think I was landing definitely on a distinction that a lot of people don't know how to make when they hear that quote. And so yeah, like people, they definitely know how to destabilize you, but they don't know the depth of what they're damaging. They can't anticipate all of the long-term consequences. They don't know the full interior world of the person that they're impacting, and they don't know what that person is actually capable of becoming in response to their abuse or whatever. So it's because these people, they operate on control and reaction and repetition, but they can't calculate things like awakening, a spiritual awakening, or transformation, or self-reclamation. And I think that that's where my interpretation of forgive them for they know not what they do becomes clean and not naive or like spiritual bypassing. Because I'm not saying that they didn't do harm. I'm not saying that they didn't intend anything, because they absolutely did. I'm not saying that they're innocent. I'm saying that they're limited in their awareness. Forgive them, they know not what they do. Not harmless, they're limited. Because they knew what the fuck they were doing. They very much intended to make you feel exactly what the fuck it is that you felt. Yes. And then the way that I'm trying to frame forgiveness is not necessarily, hey, I let you back in. It's, I released myself from orbiting your level of awareness, which is not on my level of awareness. And I think that that's really powerful in a situation like that. And then, I don't know, I'm getting like adapting under pressure. Most people don't expect that. And tying it back to like the Jim Crow thing, because I'm not just talking about Jim Crow, it's oppressive systems in general that always assume that like long-term control is gonna create like permanent damage. But really what they're getting back is just sort of limited resistance. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if that's what I really meant to say. They don't account for like collective imagination or collective intelligence or underground resilience. Underground Railroad. They don't count on eventual reuniting or reorganization among the people. And I don't know, like when people hurt you, yeah, they know enough to do damage, but they don't know the full depth of what they're doing or the way that you're capable of bouncing back. Also, again, they don't realize how they're twisting themselves deeper and deeper into darkness, for lack of a better term, I guess. So again, forgiveness isn't about excusing them. It's about freeing yourself, and it's about stepping out of their limited awareness. Because they're not all there. They don't have the hope. They don't have the vision that you have. And without vision, there's no hope. Those people don't have hope. And more importantly, you have to remember I can forgive myself for the way that I had to survive them. That wasn't I tried to make that as coherent as I could. I know, again, that's how I be. My thoughts just kind of disjointed. But no, I'm not trying to spiral. I'm doing my best to integrate, to make it cohesive. So I think that's, I don't know, I think that's what I got for now. Do with that what you will. And yeah, I will see you at the crossroads. Thanks for stopping by. Stay blessed. Stay well. Stay healthy. Stay safe. Stay weird. Yes.